Let's talk about the man in form, Shikhar Dhawan, who's now got the orange cap back and has now made 400 runs in the IPL for eighth time. Well, Babashish, coming back to you, would you have picked him as your fantasy player tonight?
Of course, Rekha. I mean, we talked about the template of Shikhar Dhawan, the Shikhar Dhawan 2.0 that you can talk about, who takes enough deliveries but understands the tempo of the batting. Even early on when he was taking on Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he was just using his crease and using his feet just to negate the swing and still get the boundaries away. The thing that Sunrisers Hyderabad really lacked in this innings was, you see three batsmen, Saha, Williamson, Pandey, they all took 17, 26, 16 balls. Talk about Delhi, anyone who went beyond 15 balls, played about 40 odd balls and got them the runs. So that's how you bat on these kind of pitches. If you have got in, then make sure you score big. Delhi did, Hyderabad didn't. They haven't done for most of the season, and yeah, they're done.
Talking a little more about Shikhar, coming back to you, Chetan. Well, he not only had made those crucial runs, but also had a half-century partnership with Shreyas Iyer. Would you say that really laid the foundation of this win, even though it wasn't at all score to chase?
No, it wasn't. But at the same time, Riga, Delhi's batting has been, clicking throughout the season. They just look unbeatable at the moment. Their top order, it's doing really well. Even before the break, we had Shikhar Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw lighting up the run charts. You had Rishabh Pant coming up the order, and he was scoring runs. And now they've got Shreyas Iyer back. I mean, how much stronger can they get, really? So I think it's just a continuation of good form, and Dhawan has a point too. As you had mentioned, he's missed the bus for the T20 World Cup, so that probably hurts him a bit.
Coming to you, Ahan, Shreyas Iyer, he was injured in the first half of the season. He came back, he lost his captaincy. Do you think he also felt that he had a point to prove if he is to, get back his captaincy once again, and hence started in the way he did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think Shreyas actually has 2 points to prove. One is to the Delhi team for he believes he should have been captain and he's lost that. And the second is to the Indian team because honestly, before he got injured, he was a sure shot pick in the 15 and now he's been dropped from that. So he is in the reserve, but he's not in the squad. So I think he had 2 points to prove. And it's good today. He used the opportunity, low run chase to get himself back into form. And I think it's only going to go up from here.
Deepti, well, the season, it was a stop-start season this time around. Hyderabad didn't have a good first half. Even in the second half, despite changing captaincy, the team doesn't seem to be coming together.
Absolutely. This is something that we expect, like after a long break. We were looking forward for a team to regroup and have a new approach, but they didn't have that approach, so which is really hurtful as a fan. But what we expect is we have still 6 games and nothing to lose, so they have to change their strategies completely and approach it in a different way, so that try to give players who they haven't given the chance, like the likes of Virat Singh and those players who haven't got chance, and try to play with some dignity and not lose the games the way they are right now.
Chetan, Deepti has made a very interesting point that Hyderabad team has 6 games, nothing to lose. Would you say it's a dangerous situation to be in? It can upset a few of the teams that are trying to make it to the top 4 and who are towards the lower half of top 4. They should now be wary of Hyderabad.
Absolutely. I mean, in T20 cricket, you cannot just, neglect anybody's form, really. And they've won 1 game all season, which is a bit of an anomaly. Even if you are having a really bad run of games, you still win 3-4 matches. So I think a couple of wins will come along the way for Sunrisers Hyderabad, but whoever loses against them, they'll be tripped up and, their qualification could be in danger. So I think everybody will be really wary of Sunrisers Hyderabad. I'll be really surprised if they finish the season with just the 1 win, because T20 very, very unpredictable. Anything can happen on any particular day. So yeah, any team that loses against them, they're basically losing not just 2 points, but also run rate and possible qualification.
Babashish, well, Hyderabad has only one win, but when you look at the side, there are few players who are exceptional performers like Rashid Khan. Would you still continue to factor him in as one of the fantasy players for the season?
Oh, absolutely. Rekha, even today when the chips were down and he was bowling to get a wicket, he was just being disheartened because most of the Delhi top order wanted to just play him out. Shreyas Iyer did come out with a little bit of intent, slogged him across the line, but he was always looking for wickets. And I think as millions of fantasy gamers out there will be looking at the Hyderabad team and be wondering what are we doing with it. But I think I would just suggest that stick to your big guns. The likes of Williamson, the likes of Rashid, they will still keep performing. And yeah, if you're coming up against those players, then yeah, you better have them and not have them basically. So yeah, pick them still.
Stick to your big guns. That is the suggestion coming from Babashish. The other big factor that favored Delhi today was the coming together of Anric Nokia and Kagiso Rabada. Ahan, coming back to you, how heartening is it for a fan to see Andrea back the way he did and, you know, garnering those 2 wickets and the man of the match at the end of the night?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about this on the pre-show as well. It was really exciting to see those two come together and bowl together. And I mean, at that first over that Nokia bowled, I think he bowled 1 ball under 145, which is absolutely insane. To just come straight off the bat and bowl that quickly, it set the tone, it got Warner out, and I think from there, Delhi were always on top and they just kept that up. So I think I'm only looking forward to it. He definitely bowled, even though Rabada got more wickets, I think he was the more influential and impactful bowler. He's the one who worried the Sunrisers more. So I'm really, really happy to see him back, and hopefully they can come together and for the rest of the season just keep playing the way they are.
Chetan, before we go, one last question to you. The way we've seen David Warner in this match, the way we saw Suresh Raina in the last match, would you say that these 2 exceptional T20 batsmen are slowly walking into the sunset?
Could be. It's never predictable with the likes of Raina and Warner because they have been so influential in the T20 game. I would say that Warner maybe still has a bit more time because as an overseas player, as somebody who leads the Sunrisers group, he could still be in contention when the next year's mega auction happens, or somebody could pick him up. Raina has already declared that he'll walk away if Dhoni walks away, and I pretty much expect MS Dhoni to walk away from CSK after this season. I mean, look, Virat Kohli has already...
Yeah, that's a big prediction, really.
There's no point. I mean, there's no point really for MS Dhoni to continue with somebody like Virat Kohli has quit captaincy because you need to plan ahead. So, never say never, but yeah, we'll probably see the last of some of the illustrious names this IPL.
Absolutely. And next year there's a big auction coming up. So perhaps a lot of these big guns are going to go next year and we'll see fresh faces coming in. Talking about fresh faces, well, thank you very much all of you for joining me on the broadcast. Chetan, Babashish, Deepthi and Ahan.